So I work for the United Nations Population Fund. The main purpose of UNFPA is to guarantee a world where everyone has access to rights and choices. And this means working from removing all violences against women and girls and boys and men, of course, ensuring they have universal access to contraceptives and to family planning methods. We work with UNICEF and co-lead the joint program to end female genital mutilation. Also with UNICEF, we co-lead the program to end child marriage, and then we work a lot on data, on getting disaggregated data so that member states can plan the social economic development. We also work with promoting the rights of all those who've been left behind, be it older persons, migrants, refugees, people with different gender identities, LGBTQI. So we try to cover the full spectrum of all those who are in a situation where they need laws, they need programs, they need policies so they can live with dignity. So we are often asked, how does our work fit in the SDGs? And the easy answer is that the goal of the SDGs is to leave no one behind. So UNFPA is really working hard on reaching first the ones who've been left the furthest behind so they can also reach the SDGs. And this frames much of our work within the Sustainable Development Goals. We prioritize because it's where we have the biggest impact on SDG 3, on health. If you check, there's an indicator that really relates to our work, and it's the indicator of guaranteeing access to sexual reproductive health and rights. And then we work a lot on SDG 5, on gender equality, by ending all harmful practices, violence and all harmful practices like female genital mutilation and child marriage. Again, on ensuring access to sexual reproductive health and rights, on bodily autonomy, on maternal health. So these are the two SDGs where I would say the impact of UNFPA is felt the strongest, but of course then all of this relates to ending poverty, to ending hunger, to making institutions stronger, to delivering on a partnership that can really leave no one behind. Well, the biggest challenge, I would say, it's the exponential increase of needs that we have to respond to. Not only the programs that we run on a, let's call it on a normal basis, that were severely hit by COVID. Let me name two impacts. We run the FGM program and the child marriage program with UNICEF. And we saw that COVID, by disrupting the types of services that we were providing, added, in the case of FGM, 2 million new cases that could otherwise have been averted, and on child marriage, 12 million new cases that could otherwise be averted. So just that made our work harder and more in the need of more systematic approaches, but also what we see in humanitarian settings. The needs are dire. We are the agency that works on sexual reproductive health in humanitarian settings, but we also coordinate everything that has to do with preventing, responding, and mitigating gender-based violence. And with the number of climate change events, with the number of conflicts and humanitarian situations that you have throughout the world, this has meant that UNFPA is working harder than ever, reaching more women than ever, but this means that there are also more women in need of our assistance. So I would say this is the biggest problem, and of course an underlying problem, which is always working in an area that it's often considered negotiable. When things get tough, women's bodies are often a battlefield. When political situations get tricky, women's rights are often the chipping bargain that you use in a negotiation. That's a very interesting question, and I need to think about it, because we tend to think that all the services we provide, all the policies we promote, all the programs we implement with countries, because we work in 130 countries to deliver on the mandate of UNFPA agreed with the government, and we tend to think that everything we do always enables more rights, always realizes the SDGs. And it's very difficult for us to try to imagine how some of these issues, some of our services and products can have a detrimental impact on others. But let me give you an example. In humanitarian settings, in crisis settings, UNFPA provides women and girls with what we call the dignity kits. We know dignity doesn't come in a kit, but I have one here. It's things like this, a backpack with basic products that women need so they can resume social life, they can get out of the tent, they can get out of the shelter with some sense of dignity. So it's a lot of services, a lot of products. They come from toothbrush, a comb, a lantern, a dress, but it's also something that we noticed it wasn't getting served. And we are talking about products for menstrual health, which is one of the SDGs. It has to do with dignity, it has to do with health. So we started to provide sanitary pads in our dignity kits. How do you dispose sanitary pads in crisis situations, in camps, and not undermine the SDG of a sustainable environment? So this is why we are also investing in ways to dispose these products in a sustainable manner that doesn't impact the environment, but we also started to invest on reusable sanitary pads. It's just one of the many approaches that organizations are having in understanding how working in one field may have a detrimental, unwanted impact on other fields of activity, and how we need to always be creative because we are working for people and people deserve our best.